Hi, it's Stacy from Families with Grace, and I have another post for you in the Social Media Savvy series. Today we're talking about 8 questions to ask yourself before posting about your kids on social media. Being intentional in what we post on social media about our kids is very important. So from before the time they were even born, my kids have had a presence on social media. I shared on Facebook about being pregnant, I shared their gender ahead of time, and I shared photos of ultrasounds. I didn't share their names until they were born because my husband and I did not share names ahead of time with anyone else in real life or on social media. But I'm not alone. Most modern parents have shared about pregnancy, childbirth, and their children on social media. Having a baby and being a parent is a huge part of our lives. So it makes sense that it would come up on social media, which is designed around people sharing what's going on in their lives. It doesn't take long, however, for social media sharing about our kids to get a bit murky. For some moms, it can start even before the baby is born when people weigh in on your pregnancy decisions. And then it can creep up when moms post things like how they're feeding their baby or share a photo of their baby in his or her car seat. Someone else has different opinions and feels welcome to share them on social media in a way that they probably would not do in real life. While I've learned to filter some of what I post about my kids to avoid dealing with controversy, I've also become more and more aware about how what I share about my kids affects them. Some things are okay to share, other things are not. Asking yourself a few questions before firing off a post about your kids, even new babies, is important more than ever as social media continues to grow and expand. Alright, so let's get into the questions. Number 1, most important. How will this post make your child feel if he or she reads it in the future? I have to start here because I think this is the most important question to ask before posting something about your child. It may be easy when kids are babies to not even think about them one day reading or being on social media, but the fact is one day they will be. If they should scroll through your old posts, how will they feel about what you're saying about them and about your feelings as a parent? Will they be embarrassed by some of the things that are very personal to them that you shared openly with your friends on social media? I mean, the baby days are hard. In fact, I would say that my children's newborn days were some of the most challenging times of my life because it's all encompassing and utterly exhausting taking care of a new baby. Babies challenge you to the core of yourself and then some. The first baby brings a whole new normal that takes some adjustment for sure. Posting on Facebook about how awful it is, how irritating your baby or toddler is, or even wondering if you should have had kids is not something that your child is going to feel great about reading. I have a friend who remembers her mother saying that she was so tired after giving birth that she didn't even want to hold her new baby, my friend. Well, my friend understood her mom's feelings, especially after she became a mom herself, but also smarted and it hurt her feelings. Parents definitely need to vent and find support, but doing so openly on social media is not the place for it. One of the biggest reasons that's true is so one day your kids won't read through posts and think, did my mom want me? Did she even enjoy any of my childhood? Those are not questions we want our children to ask. Number 2, would you share the information with a random stranger? Of course, you have your social media accounts locked down, and you are not friending everyone and their brother and random strangers, but you are still talking to a lot of people who you are not close to when you're posting on social media. If you're sharing information that you would not share with a random stranger, then it's probably not social media appropriate. As a parent, especially during the early years, you deal with all of your child and his or her parts. If you would not share with a random stranger about what is going on in your child's diaper and other things in detail, then don't share it on social media either. Number 3, are you okay with your child knowing this information? I'm not advocating for keeping secrets from our children, But the fact is, there's some things that my kids do not need to know. Right now, a lot of that is because of their ages at 10 and 6. But there are also other things that they don't need to be reminded of or know about in general. If I want to share something in any way related to my children or our family that is personal, then I don't want them to know now, then I should not be posting it on social media, even if just for the fact that someone might bring up the topic with my kiddos. Number 4, if your child's teen peers found the post, how would or could they use it? Kids can be cruel, and social media has upped that game immensely. I've got a whole other blog post coming about our kids using social media and how it affects them, but we have to think about these things as well. A Pew Research Center study shows that 59% of teen boys and 60% of teen girls say they have been cyberbullied. While a photo of your toddler sitting on a potty chair might be cute and mark a milestone for them, their peers might use such a photo in a cruel way. Take the photo, but don't post it on social media. Put it in your own scrapbook or photo album. I know there are girls I went to school with who would have jumped on embarrassing photos of me to do things with if they had had access. Fortunately, back in those days, the photos only existed in photo albums or my baby book and were not readily available online to anyone else. My parents also did well at keeping all private areas covered in photos. Aside from photos, though, sometimes just information can be hurtful and used against your kids. Posts about how, they're still letting the bed at an older age, or are scared of the dark as a 12-year-old, are just asking for the wrong kid to use that information in a hurtful way. We certainly do not want to make cyberbullying any easier. Number 5, could this post hurt your child's chance at a scholarship or job? While you should have your social media accounts well locked down, there's a whole nother post about safety that's coming. We also need to be aware that the information could somehow get out because breaches happen. And along with that, 57% of employers currently are checking social media accounts of their potential employees. That number will only continue to grow. Posts and photos that you tagged of your children could show up on their accounts. So a post about how awful your teen is at cleaning their room or being on time or doing homework is probably not in their best interest in the long run. Not only could it hurt their feelings, but it could also hurt their chances for success, which is not something any parent wants. Number 6, the 6th question to ask yourself before posting about your child on social media. Could a child predator use this in an unsavory way? Nobody wants to think about that. In fact, I debated about whether to even include this question, but it is incredibly important. Unfortunately, these things need to be taken into consideration before sharing photos, especially. And again, even with having your account locked down, there are still some things that are never appropriate to share. Information dealing with a child's bathing suit area is not okay to share about in photographic or verbal form. Another consideration is oversharing personal information that makes it easy for a child predator to find or engage with your child. While you might have your personal social media account locked down, consider what you're posting on social media accounts that are public as well. It can be very easy to piece together information and track down people just by what they post on other pages and accounts. And it's something that we definitely need to be aware of. Number 7, will the post add pressure to your child to be perfect or brag-worthy? Social media brings out the desire for perfection and showing our best face on a whole new level. You can check out my post on how social media impacts moms for more on how it does impact moms need to feel perfect. And while it's true for parents, it is also true for kids. My kids have each told me at different times to take a photo of something they're doing and share it on Facebook. I usually take the photo, but I don't always share it. It just depends on what they're doing. I try to be real in my social media accounts. I don't want to show a version of myself that's perfect and certainly doesn't exist. I don't want to do the same with my children either. However, that doesn't mean I have to post all the negative things or all the positive things. I am so proud of my children for so very many things. I brag on them in front of them when I can. I tell them what I'm proud of them for. I encourage them when they're struggling. But I never want to put pressure on them to be perfect because I know they aren't. That means I don't want to be posting only big things on social media. I can tell you things about my kids that would impress you, but that's not what is most important about them. What's most important is the people they are and how much I love being their mom, even on the hard days. I don't want them to ever feel I've created a social media image or any image of them that they have to be perfect to live up to. And the final question, number 8. Does the post betray your child's privacy or trust? Our kids deserve a right to privacy with us. We should be their safe place they can count on, and that means not sharing everything about them. They have fears, shortcomings, and stresses that may seem cute or funny to us at the time, but they're very real to our kiddos, whether they are 5 or 15. We shouldn't ever share something on social media that our kids wouldn't want us to. Once they are older, ask them before sharing things that seem even remotely private or personal. Even as babies, be careful not to overshare private information. We also don't want to betray our kids' trust by taking to social media to make fun of them for something they're doing or struggling with. We have to be careful of poking fun at our children and inadvertently becoming a cyberbully. And that is all. That's our 8 questions. And this post has been part of the Families with Grace's Social Media Savvy series that covers a common sense approach to handling social media as a parent. You can head over to the blog, stay here, check out some of the other posts from the series as well. Right now, that includes how social media impacts moms, and there are more posts to come as well. Thanks so much, and have a great day.